Let's head to Pauley Pavilion. The battle for the Pac-10 title. Always a struggle, and the two combatants lock in arms. It's Arizona and UCLA. Certainly no love lost between these two. Vicious rejection here by Wayne Womack on Don McLean. The Bruins get it going early, though. Mitchell Butler, the baseline drive in the slam. The UCLA faithful rocking at Pauley Pavilion. Lute Olson wasn't rocking. His knees were knocking. His team down. Bruins up by 6 at the half, but second half, that was Othick to Caleb Reeves for the double pump. And then Othick drains the 3. Arizona down 2. Suddenly Jim Herrick feeling some heat. Bruins tough, though, down the stretch. Matkins finds Taurus Edney. The M&M boys, Murray and McLean, loving it. So is Dick Vitale.
Oh, my God, they knocked us down here. Help me, Ron. Oh, my God, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Please don't go. He may have been mired in the slump, but they love him, and this is why. Inches away from going out of bounds, but he hits the leaner. The Trojans lead by 8. Sun Devils try to come back, though. Dwayne Cooper takes the long pass, feeds Mario Bennett for the jam. Bennett, 21 points. USC only by 5, but Harold Miner takes over. Is this a hometown bounce or what? Just ask George Raveling. Miner, 26 points, 12 rebounds. Raveling loving it. George, that's Bill Frieder fighting with the Big Ten lead. That was Steve Yoder doing a little yodeling, but it didn't help. They're looking for their first win in Bloomington since 1977, but Calbert Cheney says, not tonight. Hoosiers by 5. Badgers trying to stay close. Tracy Webster drives the lane, misses, but look at Lewis Eli there for the slam dunk follow. The Badgers trail by 2 at the half. You know Bobby Knight's going to have a few words for Calbert Cheney and the Hoosiers, and they get the message. That's Eric Anderson getting the tough bucket. Indiana by 8. Seniors Jamal Meeks and Anderson leave the game for the final time. West Virginia and UMass battling for the Patriot League title. You like that? William Herndon dunk. That put UMass up 7, and it got worse. Tony Barbee open on the flank and buries the 3. That concludes a 23-4 run for UMass in the first half. Nice passing here. Herndon to freshman Lewis Rowe for the acrobatic hoop and the foul. The Minutemen up by 22. Great season for John Calipari's team. The Cage Crew wants to go. We thought
Jerome Scott rejecting Sean Miller in the first half inside. Scott was hot on the offensive end. The fake, the ball fake, the drive, and the nice layup. Paul Evans concerned. He should be. His team was not prepared for this game mentally. Sean Miller outside hits the 3. 1 of 4 in the first half. Panthers did have a 2-point lead, but more Scott. He shakes and bakes on the baseline with the shot clock running down. He had 30 points. Where did this guy come from? 11 of 14 shooting. Leonard Hamilton has big reason to celebrate. Miami beats Pitt by 12. Other first-round game, Providence and Boston College. BC in white. Nice inside move for Billy Curley. The hoop and the foul. Eagles by 5 at the break. More Curley inside. He had 18 points. Boston College by 9. Strong defense. Gerard Abram, he had a big game. The steal to Howard Isley. Back to Abram for 2 of his 22, and the Eagles win by 10. Marquise Bragg and the Friars see the season come to an end. So Boston College screaming, stop Walt Williams. Yeah, easy for you to say. This guy could be a lottery pick. Shows why. The outside game, the power game, the follow in traffic, and the screen. Inside, he was dominant. Walt had 38 points, becoming the school's single-season scoring leader. But Clemson would come back. Corey Wallace the hoop, and down 3 late. Chance to tie. They turn down the 3 and throw away the chance at the 2. And Maryland will move on. Maryland wins. They will put
out Joe Rhett because of that irregular heartbeat. First half, Gamecocks trying to win it for Rhett. With the steal, Barry Manning ahead to JoJo English for the reverse jam. 26 points for him. Gamecocks up 3. But the Vols come back. Allen Houston, is this legal or what? The 3-pointer off the glass, he didn't call that. Vols have a 6-point halftime lead. And then look at Jay Price behind the back to the trailing Carlos Grove. The Vols go on to win it 70-63. Out of the way it was supposed to be. East meeting West as Georgia taking on Ole Miss. Ed Murphy hoping his Rebels could upset the Bulldogs, but it was the Bulldogs with the D. Sean Golden, the stuff. Bulldogs up 9, and they trap again. This time, Reggie Tinch goes all the way. Bulldogs beating Ole Miss 85-66. Ed Murphy resigned after the game saying he needs a change, and he sure... Bernie Hardaway, Player of the Year in the Great Midwest Conference, showing why. Look at that pass to Billy Smith, and then Hardaway showing he can play a little D as well. Stanley Jackson going up. Hardaway sending him back down. Hardaway then from the outside stops, pops to 3. The Tigers by 8 at the half. It's not raining. Hardaway, the exclamation point. Are you kidding me? Over Willie Chapman. Chapman's not laughing. Tigers win at 79-67. Meanwhile, St. Louis taking on Marquette. Kevin O'Neill wanting his team to get fired up, but it's William Gates and Damon Key hooking up on the give and go. And then Brian Smith there for the monster follow dunk. St. Louis rallying. They're down only by 2, but the Warriors blow it open. Tony Miller, consecutive trays, highlighting a 16-1 run. Marquette advancing 74-63. Memphis State, which is...
And a lot of blocks for BYU. This is Gary Trost sending one away. And Air Force coach Reggie Minter says it can't get much worse. Down 6 at the break in the second half. Mark Helslip with a steal. He's going to go coast to coast for the Cougars, who led by as many as 19. It's a good team. Remember, Sean Bradley left this team to go on his mission. Gerard Miller, the steal. Gary Trost will close it out with a dunk on the 1 seed. The Cougars move on. They win 72-51. Colorado State taking on UTEP. This young fan getting a head start on cheerleading. The Miners were up 11. They're the 2 seed, but it got tight in the second half. Eddie Rivera, the alley-oop to David Van Dyke. UTEP up 4. They're the 2 seed. Colorado State, the 7 on their home floor, came back and took the lead, but Prince Stewart hits the shot with 45 seconds left. UTEP up 1. Now the Rams, a chance to win the game for Stu Morrill. They go to Ryan Yoder, who gets the shot off, but it gets blocked by Marlon Maxey. UTEP avoids what could have been a disastrous loss.
On Walt Williams with the sweet layup, and the Terps would lead 10-2 early, but the Dukes would come back with Christian Leitner netting the 3. He would have 33 on the day. Play of the game, Hurley with the miss, but Grant Hill with the emphatic follow-up. Duke wins 94-87. Leitner led all scorers with 30. Diagramming a layup for Travis Best, and this is how it's done. Going coast to coast and off the left hand. Best had 17. And then John Barry with the shake, rattle, and the roll. Barry had 17. Finally, James Forrest with the power slam. It would be a depressing day. Yes, Virginia, no Santa Claus.
Georgia doesn't lose its cool against Arkansas. The Bulldogs go low to Charles Claxton. He jams it. Georgia leads by 8. Claxton, 13 points, 15 boards. But Arkansas shuts the door. Todd Day with the block. He looks long for Lee Mayberry to slam it down. The Hogs rip it loose again. Mayberry returns the favor. Day leads the Razorbacks with 24. The final Arkansas 73, Georgia 6 way. But Mashburn leans in to get what he's going after. Mashburn outside, steps in, steps out, launches, hits. He shows power and finesse after Coach Rick Pitino chews on his ear in the first half, pounding low and spinning in. The final Kentucky 76, Vanderbilt 57. Mashburn's 24 points.
Pirates take control. Terry DeHare with the steal and the coast-to-coast dribble. Through a couple of people, up and in. Hall by 4. But the Eagles come back with a minute to go in the game. Gerard Abram hits the 3. That ties it at 60. After Hall took the lead with a free throw, the Eagles have a chance to win it, but Malcolm Huckabee will lose the handle. And the outcome of the game determined by the possession arrow. Seton Hall keeps the ball and wins it against the Wildcats. Dave Johnson, big day. He would have 27, including 6 3-pointers. But Villanova fights back. Greg Woodard off the back door. Wildcats trailed by 2 going into the final seconds. Lance Miller would drive, and this is how the game would end. Villanova with a chance to win. It ain't gonna happen. Syracuse holds on 55-52. David Johnson led all
day for Adonis Jordan, hacking out. Randy Robinson lights it up for Colorado. 22 points for him. Roy Williams tells the Jayhawks to make the ball move. So they do it. Alonzo Jameson slices through 2 to Rex Walters on the baseline, to Ben Davis with room, just the way the coach draws it up. They make the ball do the running. Jameson collects and dishes to Eric Pauley. The final, Kansas 84, Colorado 66. Derek Chandler fouls out, leaving no one to stop Jeff Webster inside. Webster and Oklahoma power the lead up to double digits. While Nebraska shoots only 29% in the second half, Oklahoma hits for 53% for the game. Alonzo Hamilton. Webster between 2 men low. It's a runaway. The final, Oklahoma 107, Nebraska 80.
Dishes to Paul Afike for the emphatic slam. More nice Ute passing is Phil Dixon with the touch pass to Craig Rydalsh, and that's the easy hoop. Utah wins 81-6. 27 for Southern Mississippi to knock South Florida off the bubble. 2 overtimes before all was said and done. Southern Mississippi wins by 5. Still the Metro Conference, NC Charlotte, Virginia Tech. Henry Williams hit 5 3-pointers, tied a tournament record with 6, finished with 26. NC Charlotte's going to play Southern Mississippi next. Southwest Conference. Baylor and TCU. Reggie Smith scored 19 points, pulled down 18 rebounds to lead TCU to a 7-point win. Both teams shot badly, both under 40%. TCU now 22-9 overall. Still in the Southwest Conference, Houston and SMU. Charles Outlaw shot like a bandit, scored 15 points for Houston, survived a second-half scare for the Mustangs. Houston wins it 73-62. Houston will play TCU next. Now to the Big Sky, Utah State and Pacific. Pacific, the number 5 seed, dominating play, beating the number 4 seed Utah State. Robert Richardson with the monster jam. Utah State wins it. I beg your pardon, Pacific 86-69.
Up 22 points, 10 minutes left when this happens. O'Neal grabbed by Carlos Groves. The Shack retaliates. Both teams square off. Dale Brown out of the court. Groves takes a punch at Dale Brown. O'Neal had frustrated the Volunteers all night long. 16 points, 16 rebounds up to this incident. Here's it again. SEC rules say that a coach is allowed on the court in this situation, although some might question Dale's actions. After almost a 15-minute delay, the officials check the replays, eject 10 players. Only Carlos Groves and Shaquille O'Neal ejected for fighting, meaning O'Neal will have to miss LSU's next game due to NCAA rules. Dale was livid.
I'm not trying to sound like a martyr. I'm man enough. If I make a mistake, I'll say it. There was no mistake made. The mistake was made from the intentional flagrant foul. The next mistake was made that Shaquille O'Neal was ejected from the game when there have been incidents far worse than that in this league, and there's been no consistency. We have no protest. We can't do anything about it. I told the referees at the time the wrong people were being ejected. Almost cost us a ball game from an excellent game.
LSU did win that one by 10. In other quarterfinal action, Bama meeting Florida. That was 45 seconds left. Scott Stewart nailing the three, tying the score at 60. Wimp, is he happy or what? Looks like Jerry Clower, but this one is in Alabama, and Bama gets the kind roll there. That was James Hollywood Robinson getting the shot to fall. Dan Cross with the 35-foot prayer doesn't count. Bama holds on to win it 62-60. Wimp. Court action here. Check that out. That was Sproling, swatted away, and then at the other end, Danielle Marshall does a little swatting. UConn up 3 at the half. Second half action, Sproling nailing the 3. St. John's with its first lead in the game, 43-42. UConn had a chance to win it, but Burrell can't convert. We go to overtime. And in the overtime, Shawnell Scott, the tough turnaround jumper right here. Battle of free throws. St. John's win it 64-59. Boston College meeting top-seeded Seton Hall. Actually, Miami. Off last night, Leonard Hamilton looking for his second big win. Georgetown also in gear, though. That was Churchwell on the break, and then some D. Loose ball. Lamont Morgan picks it up. Jerome Scott called for the intentional foul. Leonard Hamilton can't believe it. On the next possession, following free throws, Ivan Church nails the 3. 5-point possession for the Hoyas. Miami could never recover.
Microsoft to lead them, and early on he delivered. Watch the nice turnaround jumper from the baseline, and watch the Anthony Tucker miss. And what planet is this guy from? What the follow by Rogers. Rogers even hits the 3. 23 points in the first half as Wake led by 3. Second half, UNC responds. Watch George Lynch. He goes right to Rogers, gets the tip in. Then Hubert Davis drives the lane. A nice soft jumper. And the 2, the Wink says it all. Terrific year for him. 23 points in the Wink. Tar Heels go on to win. Florida State with a pressure defense against North Carolina State. And Pat Kennedy doesn't like it. He looks concerned, and he should be. When Tom Bugliotta's hitting like that, Wolfpack up by 7, but the pressure D starts to take effect. Sam Cassell with the save to Charlie Ward, who waits and waits, then delivers to Doug Edwards for the finishing dunk. Seminoles by 3 at the half. Second half, more defense. Charlie Ward steals. Feeds Bob Sora, who makes the nice no-look alley-oop pass to Rodney Dobard. Seminoles win going away. Warren giving you the illustration of how ugly it was early. And watch Anthony Peeler. He makes the steal and goes coast to coast. Tigers with a 5-point lead, but the Cyclones claw back. They get a turnover, and Ron Bayless goes all the way and converts it for the 2, and he was just warming up. Watch Bayless with a nice, soft, short jumper. He had 15 in the second half. Iowa State up 78 to 75. Watch Peeler missing the jumper at the buzzer, and then Javon Crudup, he can't get it either. Cyclones go on to win in the upset, 80 to 75. Kansas State coach Dana Altman trying to stop the Cowboys inside, playing a zone defense. So what do? Well, Oklahoma State goes outside. That's Sean Sutton for the three. Corey Williams says, hey, give me the ball. Me too. And Corey Williams again. And then Sutton again. Cowboys on a 17-2 run. Altman gets the tee. K-State down by 17 at the half. Second half, they decide K-State, they're going to pound it inside to who else but Byron Houston. They're up by 20. Byron Houston, 26 points. It was more than enough. The Cowboys win this one, 81 to 57. Midwest Coach of the Year, Bob Huggins, trying to fire up the Bearcats. Second half action. Good ball movement. Watch Ron Curry inside to Jim McIlvain. McIlvain with 16 points on the night. Bearcats get a great spark from Nick Van Exel. Van Exel gets the handoff from Jeff Scott and buries the jumper. The very next possession, he drains the long three-pointer, a 5-point Cincinnati lead, 20 points for Van Exel. Bearcats go on to win. Memphis State and DePaul, both teams hustling early. Look at this, Kevin Allen and David Booth taking out the first row in the stands. Pick it up in the second half. Anthony Hardaway, he misses the layup, but Billy Smith there for the emphatic follow. Tigers with a 10-point lead. Anthony Hardaway, tough on the drive, nice baseline move. Also dangerous passing the ball. Look inside to David Vaughn. And a great night for Hardaway. Emotional with his coach Larry Finch, and Memphis State wins it.
In New Mexico, Dave Bliss looking for his 300th win. Lobos leading early. Furious Utah rally in the second half. That was Eddie Rivera for the basket. UTEP on a 12-0 run in the second half. Marlon Maxey finds Jim Bice for the nice layup, and the Miners roll 83 to 7, hosting Virginia Commonwealth. Louisville up early as Dwayne Morton hits the three. He had 11 first-half points, but the Rams would come back. Kendrick Warren, the nice baseline move, and a big jam. Louisville still led, however, 31-27 at the half. Is it the socks? Is it the shoes? What? Chris Bauer, well, it's the three for him. He had 15 points. Louisville can only hang their heads as the Rams go on to win. So a look at the Metro brackets, Saturday's semis, having the Golden Eagles meeting North Carolina.